page 60-63. Chapter 4 begins with the obvious recognition that when Doc said,
"They found me, I don't know how, but they found me,"
we'd all be so obsessed with that mystery that we'd be unwilling to go any further until we found out exactly how indeed they did find him. So we rewind the story some, again, so that we can meet the Libyans. Yes. And in the novel's defense, it does try to humanize them a bit, giving some of them names, and frankly anything would be better than the movie's brown guy yelling syllables as his AK-47 jams version of the Libyans. However, in the novel's offense, what we get is actually way more racist than whatever the movie had. Oh Gipe. Oh, this book, Steven Spielberg presents Back to the Future, a Robert Zemeckis film, the novel by George Gipe based on a screenplay by Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale. Let us begin, shall we? It's 10.5 hours ago and we're hanging out in a dingy motel room with 6 Libyans. We meet
the swarthy man known only as Sam.
Exact quote, whose
own career as an international terrorist dated back nearly 30 years.
I say, that's another reference to 1955. Will we meet Sam in 1955? No, we won't.
Yuranda, a 25-year-old ex-fashion model from Damascus who got her kicks by pumping bullets into other people's bodies and who wanted nothing but more killing.
Hello. And 4 other dudes who never get named or even mentioned beyond the one time where it says they're chilling in the motel. Sam gets a coded message from his superior officer. He reads it, and
his anger grew, until his dark moody eyes flashed vengefully.
Then he announces to the others that they've been taken in. And as he says this, he slams back the bolt on his AK-47 submachine gun. Please note, this is awesome, and I need to start carrying around submachine guns so that I can use them as physical punctuation. Sam decides that the time for negotiation is over and that Doc Brown needs to die.
There'll only be one dead body, but it will be very dead by the time we're through, Sam says.
Actually, he rasps it. Sam is really into being what he thinks an international terrorist sounds like. So Sam pulls out the file they have on Doc, color headshot, map of home and work, 10-page resume of his past activities and habits, and Yuranda says,
"What's he done? Not that it matters. He looks Jewish."
And we're supposed to hate these racist caricatures because they themselves are prejudiced. I guess. Anyway, it's Sam that explains Doc gave them a bomb casing filled with used pinball machine parts. Yuranda gets excited about murdering him and
a look of happy anticipation engaged her features.
With the decision to kill him made, Sam has 2 of them tail Doc for the rest of the day. We don't know which 2, so let's say Yuranda and unnamed dude number 3, and tells them that Doc hangs out a lot at the garage he uses or at Twin Pines Mall. He also warns him that he carries an old .45 caliber revolver that may not even work. And suddenly we're back in the present and Marty is watching the darkened van in complete terror. His terror was complete, even though he had no idea who or what was heading their way. Marty asks who's in that car. Doc says,
"The Libyans I ripped off."
And rather than saying this,
Holy shit!
Marty is totally racist instead.
Marty didn't understand, but he did know that, to date, few Libyans he had heard of had been involved in anything but dark and dangerous business.
Book Marty, racist. So racist that what does he do as soon as he realizes they're Libyans? The effect was of someone yelling fire in a crowded theater.
Marty believed and acknowledged that there was trouble without further investigation.
Book Marty, super racist. Doc
hustled into the truck.
I love this. I am bringing back the word hustled in a non-sports context as of now, and appears a moment later with his gun, but the black van stops and slides open a door and more racisms.
A swarthy character resembling Yasser Arafat leaned out. He threw up an AK-47 submachine gun and opened fire.
And so this, the most racist page so far, ends with Yasser Arafat vomiting up machine guns. And scene.